good, everybody? So today we have this video right here by the Nigerian perspective. Wuthering Waves raised the bar. The future of Gacha starts now. I'm kind of interested in what bro has to say. What does he think of Wuthering Waves? How does he compare it to other games in the Gacha sphere? So let's go take in what bro has to say about this one.
Genuinely changing the gacha space, and I mean that in the best way possible. We reached a point where every month and a half or 2 months, I'm not just expecting a new update or a great story, I'm expecting a full-on event, something that sparks real excitement across the...
I feel this is kind of like Wuthering Waves' double-edged sword. It's so great for people to have view this game so highly that it has these expectations, but at the same time it has these expectations it needs to uphold, and if they don't meet this new standard, it's going to cause problems. And they've really made this thing for themselves. But it's great to see how people have come to view the patches as things that are important and important days.
The entire gacha community. It's not just about the game anymore. There's a ripple effect that spreads through the player base, the content creators, and the wider gacha scene. I mean, even I've basically become a Wuthering Waves review channel overnight, breaking down the story, diving deep into the lore, and sharing how it all feels. This is something that I used to do sparingly before, but I never thought that I would go this deep.
Bro likes Wua so much, it made him make content about the game like nobody's business. That's insane. Okay, the amount of enjoyment you have to get from the game to willingly be like, you know what, I'm gonna make full-on breakdowns and reviews and make content for the game is actually just insane and wildly impressive.
Deep into reviewing a gacha story, and I'm not the only one. More and more gacha content creators are doing.
Yo, thank you, Sergeant Frost. Thank you for the sub, buddy. Thank you.
Doing the exact same thing, talking about the story, reviewing each update, and fueling the conversation. The community is talking. Now the question is, what does this mean for everything else? What does it mean for your favorite gacha game? What does it mean for the future of this genre? This is what I want to dive into today. So if you're just kind of content, make sure to drop a like and share your thoughts in the comments. Especially how you think Wuthering Waves would impact the community moving forward. Will it be good, bad, or something else entirely? And of course, subscribe and hit the so don't on any of my future videos. Alright, let's dive into it. Now, if you follow my channel for a while, you probably already know something important about the kind of content I make. I never stay blindly positive about anything I cover, whether it's Genshin Impact, Wuthering Waves, or any other gacha.
Damn, I got neutral. Wait, what's that? I got neutral competition.
Gacha game now.
I got a wholly neutral, based on unbiased competition right here. Goddamn.
Future, I make a conscious decision to stay balanced. That means giving criticism where it's due. I say all that to make this clear. Over the past couple of months, Wuthering Waves has made it really hard to stay neutral. I've said this before in another video, but the Renesita arc has been absolutely phenomenal.
I mean, saying it's been really hard to stay neutral kind of implies that you have to equally talk bad than good. But here's the thing, guys, right? Here's what's important to note. It's hard to talk shit about something if it's good most of the time. Like, if a game is genuinely way more good than it ever has criticisms, of course you're going to be talking positively more often. You don't need to balance that. It's just how the game is, you know? So this thing of staying neutral doesn't mean talking equally good and bad. If it's just doing good things, it's just doing good things. That's fine. You don't have to force negativity to be like, oh, it's such a problem. Like, I'm having such a hard time staying neutral. It's because the game is good. That's literally what it is.
From version 2.0 all the way to 2.5, the Renesita story has been solid. It's genuinely hard to find something to criticize. Not just the narrative, but the entire...
Neutral also doesn't mean unbiased necessarily. No, I agree.
...experience as a whole. Because when I played the most recent chapter, it hit me. Everything that we've gotten from 2.0 onward hasn't just been a story, it's been a full-on experience. These updates sparked discussion, debate, and even arguments. They stirred up real emotion in the community, and that kind of emotional investment is rare. And everything that we've had so far made me pause and think back to where Wuthering Waves started. You see, version 1 of Wuthering Waves was honestly kind of boring. It was rough, It was flawed in so many ways.
Oh god, Yinlin. I love how he cut to Yinlin, the character that had no real input into the main story whatsoever. Oh my god. The 1.0 story was really half-baked. We didn't get to see or interact with half the fucking cast by the time we got to the Avengers Assemble scene at the end. Yeah, it was pretty rough.
From the voice acting to the writing to the sound design, even the music. Nothing
It got better as they released the other patches, right? But 1.0 itself, oh my god, terrible.
About it really landed. It felt like a train wreck in motion. The shift from version 1 to version 2 isn't just an improvement, it's a complete transformation.
It's a whole new game, it feels like.
Don't even feel like they belong in the same game. And I believe the devs understood this too, because if you played Wuthering Waves back when version 1 was still running, you probably noticed its insane rewards. Every patch handed out more pulls than we expected. We got a free 5-star and a bunch of extras on top. That wasn't just generosity, that was the devs acknowledging the truth. Version 1 did not deliver, and they did what any sensible dev team should do in that situation. They compensated us for a rough experience. But here's the crazy part. If you had told me back then that Wuthering Waves would grow from that mess into what it is now, an experience that brings the entire community together, I would have absolutely believed you. And here's why.
That's crazy. I thought bro was about to say, I would not have believed you. That's something you would say if you were playing, like, I don't know, Genshin or something. Like, the game gets good, I would not have believed you. Like, if someone comes to me now and be like, yo, Genshin gets really good, like, in like a year from now, I would have been like, stop. So, you know, the side jab again, hey, it's just like, that's just the closest thing I could compare it to, right? Because it's just the truth. So the changes on 1.1, you can see how, like, yeah, the Wuthering Waves has changed throughout its patch history. Even going from 1.0 to 1.4, they changed a lot. They changed a lot.
This is something I've said before, and it applies not just to Wuthering Waves, but to every major gacha game out there. Genshin Impact, Honkai Star Rail, Zenless Zone Zero, and even the ones yet to come.
Let's not talk about Genshin here. Brother, he literally has a cut of Genshin in the video. What do you want me to do? What do you want me to do?
At the moment of their release, they all have one thing in common, and that is potential. I think we can all agree that very few gacha games come out good right out the gate. Most of them don't launch the way the devs intended or the community hoped. There's always a bug, a missing feature, or something that just feels off. But even with all that, there's still this thing, this potential, that we as a community sense when a gacha game drops, especially the big ones. That's why even when Genshin launched with its fair share of bugs and problems, people stayed, because Genshin had that potential. You could feel it. It wasn't perfect, but you knew it could become something huge. And that same potential was there in Wuthering Waves too. But here's where Wuthering Waves separates itself from every other major gacha game we've seen so far. How it actually responds to that potential. With Genshin Impact, when the game launched 5 years
I think Wuthering Waves was saved by the devs' willingness to communicate and offer compensation. If they didn't do that, I think we would be in such a different spot than it is now. Like, such a different spot than it is now. Like, unbelievably so. They had crisis management down on point that kind of Genshin didn't really need to have at the beginning. Also, there was nothing quite like Genshin as well, so it's, even if they fucked up, it's harder to kind of lose, where if Wuwa fucks up and doesn't repair its PR, it's kind of over before it's even begun, and one game is already declared a victor over the other. So it's kind of one of those. Just look up at Beacon, exactly. It's how the devs' willingness to immediate respond to community. Genshin just had it easier because bigger release during COVID, but also again, like I said, if they fail initially, it's kind of like, well, they don't have any other competition to really lose to ever, so it's completely different circumstances.
Years ago, we all saw the potential. We were excited by the realization of that potential. We wanted,
and like the Kuro devs know that, right? They know if they fuck up and fail on release, that's it. People will forever compare them to Genshin for like everything and be like, oh, you did this though. Oh, they get, look at Tower of Fantasy, for example. Just, that's an example of a game where if they get it wrong on release, it dies so quickly. And people just, that could have happened to Wuthering Waves too. They could have got the Tower of Fantasy treatment, but it didn't. It just got stronger.
To be big. But here's the wild part.
No compensation equals less greedy players. Well, I understand. I understand that sentiment, but I feel like there are some times where it's like justified, you know? I think sometimes it's justified. Hey, bribery works for a reason, right?
5 years later, Genshin still feels like it has potential.
Yeah, exactly.
5 years of updates,
yes
5
no.
years of storytelling, 5 years of trial and error, of feedback, of community engagement, and yet it feels like it hasn't fully arrived. But with Wuthering Waves, it's a completely different story. You see, when it came out last year, there was a moment. At this point, it's basically a meme, but back then it was huge. The devs listen moment. That moment was a huge turning point for the community. Before that, sure, we'd seen hints of dev feedback, little tweaks here and there. But
I can't believe Mr. Pokey is in like a Know Your Meme Wikipedia. Bro, like everyone was using devs listened for like everything. It was so funny. Yeah, the devs listened guy.
Never something solid, never something that felt like, yes, the devs are really hearing us loud and clear. But the devs listening moment.
I'm gonna do that for my next thumbnail, by the way. For the thumbnail for this video, it's just gonna be devs listened.
Wuthering Waves turned all that around, and it all started with something small, a puzzle in Hongjang that required a gun type character to complete, and on paper it was nothing major, just switch to a gun character and solve it. But the community made a mild complaint, and we said that it would be nice to not have to rely on gun characters just to do puzzles. And literally in the next patch, the devs dropped the utility, an item that any character could use at any time to solve gun puzzles. Now let's be real, nobody uses that thing today. It barely matters now, but back then it meant everything. It was the first moment where we realized
I never fucking used it. I still didn't fucking use it, but that's probably because I didn't do any of the... I still haven't finished the exploration in Mount Firmament. You know when you need it to get the little bells and stuff to hit them in weird places? You either had to use a gun character or like get fucked, and it was kind of annoying. Yeah, that was in response to that, wasn't it? I still never collected them all. So maybe the fault's on me.
That Wuthering Waves isn't just a game with potential, it's a game where the devs are acting on that potential, where community feedback leads to actual tangible change. That was a
tourist. Yeah,
and what
I'm
makes
such
it
a
even
tourist.
crazier is that trend continued. There came a point where with every update we started expecting something from Wuthering Waves, whether it was a crazy story beat or useful utility, better quality of life features, a free new character, or just some solid rewards. We looked forward to every single patch because the devs had shown us time and time again that the community mattered. They made us understand that no matter what else is going on, they were listening, even when the story wasn't hitting, even when
I feel they really embodied what they learned from their PGR days and how they really needed to rely on community, and how to I feel PGR gave them the experience of how to build a loyal community and to earn their trust again, and they transferred that to Wuthering Waves. And so I kind of feel like people have PGR to thank for how Wuthering Waves is successful now, because Kuro learned basically everything from them. Yo, it's Suri. Thank you so much for the raid, brother. Thank you so much. The PGR incident, yeah, the PGR incident.
There wasn't a lot of content to grind. Even during those early shaky moments, the game itself showed us that there was potential. And more importantly, that potential wasn't just sitting there, it was being acted on fast, because every update brought something new. Every patch brought a change, and soon we were seeing those changes even in the rougher moments. In the Gacha trailer, the voice acting suddenly got better. In Hongjang, the environment leveled up. In the Black Shores, the storytelling started to shift, even if just a little.
I feel the storytelling did definitely change. I think 1.3, while I may be the world's biggest hater for 1.3 for like the plot, the storytelling was so good in 1.3. They changed. They absolutely started to nail it with that. At that point, I knew that we were in really good hands with Kuro. Right? I may disagree with the plot, but the way they told the plot was so well done. Like so well done.
They gave us QTEs, actual QuickTime events. Something
the story picked up a Jinsei stuff. I actually have issues with 1.1 apart from the ending with Jue, but yeah, I think 1.3 is when it really popped off.
We had never seen in Wuthering Waves stories before, and that was the moment we really started to notice that little by little, bit by bit, they were improving everything they got wrong at launch. And this may sound like the standard, this may sound like something that every gacha game should be doing, but surprisingly there are very few gacha games that have shown us that they can improve as fast and as well as Wuthering Waves did at that time. Then fast forward to Renesita, fast forward to the 2.5 story, fast forward to just 1 year later, one measly year, about the amount of time it would take most gacha games in Wuthering Waves shoes to shut down entirely. Fast forward to now, and Wuthering Waves has shown us something remarkable. Not only can it keep up with our expectations, not only can it exceed them, not only can it push beyond them, it can complete.
Holy glaze! Maybe this guy should be the #1 Kuro bot for a while. Holy shit! Get a room, you two. God damn, get a fucking room, brother.
Shatter them. It's done something I never thought I'd see in the gacha space. It made everyone talk. I mean, the conversation about Freelover is everywhere. Some people are hyped, some people are frustrated, emotions are all over the place. But the important thing is everyone is talking.
I haven't seen that much discussion for a Wuthering Waves patch in a long time. And it came because it's ambiguous, right? I feel like 2.2 was also like equally respected and hyped and whatever it was, but there wasn't as much discussion about it purely because it didn't have any conflicts. Wuthering Waves has become a game that's not afraid to do that. It's not afraid to make content and stories that will get people talking and conflicting and debating and speaking about it, and I think that's really fucking cool. It's really cool that they're going in that direction. Hey, I want more of it.
Everyone is trying to understand what's happening. Everybody is engaged. And no matter what you think of the story, whether you love it, hate it, or are still on the fence, I think we can all agree that this is good for the community. This is what we need. Games that get us talking. Games where story, gameplay, and mechanics all come together to deliver something solid. Games where with every new version, the experience doesn't just continue, it evolves. And that is what Wuthering Waves has given us. And more importantly, that's what they continue to give us. So now the big question is, what does this mean for Gacha?
True. I think we've been saying ever since 2.0 that every single patch gets better and better, with the exception of the anniversary. With the exception of the anniversary and maybe like 2.2, 2.1, whatever. Yeah. Without those exceptions, it's been just an uphill. The trajectory is only going up. I'm kind of wondering where the ceiling is. When are we going to start trickling down again? That's the real thing.
Games moving forward. What does it mean for the ones that haven't launched yet? With everything Wuthering Waves is doing right now, with the conversation that is sparking, what should we expect from the future of Gacha? I think we should all be beyond excited, because what Wuthering Waves has shown us is this. Reguna, Septimons, every new mechanic we've gotten, the environments, the vibe, the energy, everything about these nations and the Renacita arc, it's all setting a standard, whether we realize it or not. From now on, every gacha game that drops after Wuthering Waves will be compared to this experience, because Wuthering Waves has proven that gacha games don't have to be what we've always accepted them as. Gacha games can be more. They can tell us powerful emotional stories. They can deliver that level of hype and immersion we used to expect only from AAA.
That's really it, right? Especially we've seen ever since 2.2, 2.4, and now 2.5, people have been comparing like WoW to like movies, right? They're almost movie length, right? 2.5 hours, 2.5, maybe 3 hours. It's prime movie length. It's basically an interactive fucking movie at this point. And they're getting so good at their storytelling. And I feel that story writing is slowly catching up. I do. I never thought WoW has the most like deep story ever, but I feel they're even getting better at that too. And it's making me I do agree. I feel like I'm genuinely excited to see what's next. I'm so excited because we've got a while left in Renacita. I want to know what kind of bombshells they're going to drop on us. It's just fun. It's a lot of fun.
Titles. That thrill, that weight, that feeling of being part of something real. Wuthering Waves has brought that into the gacha space. And I'm telling you right now that while you're listening to this video, there are dev teams at other gacha companies sitting in meetings, reworking their stories, rethinking their mechanics, reevaluating their whole formula because of what Wuthering Waves has done. Now, yes, if you look at the revenue charts, Wuthering Waves might not be pulling in as much money as other big titles, but that's not the point.
Only $20 million. Oh, $20 million on mobile platforms only. Oh no, what are we gonna do? What are we gonna do? Only 20 million? Oh no, that's so sad. Yeah, it's gonna EOS in like 5 fucking minutes, bro. They're gonna announce their you know, their downfall. Imagine that. Imagine if today we randomly got like an end of service like announcement from WUA. Can you imagine how what the space would be like? Holy fucking shit. Holy shit. Jesus Christ.
This is a long game, and what people don't get is that with everything Wuthering Waves is doing, if they stay on this path, even with the occasional stumble, even when an event or a story doesn't quite hit as hard, we, the community, know what they're capable of. The devs have earned something rare in this space, trust. Wuthering Waves has solidified itself as one of the important gacha games, a standard setter. It's a game that, even if it struggles, even if it feels...
It's definitely the big three, or the big four. It is. You've got your Gacha, ZZZ, Honkai, and WUA. I guess like now we have to maybe reconsider what the big four is. I think we do. I think we have to have a serious discussion. Would that be a good video? Like something, I think maybe that'd be a good activity we could do on stream tomorrow or Monday. Is like, I was like, what is actually the big four and what criteria are we marking it by? That might be interesting, actually. We'll do that tomorrow. No, sorry, Monday. We'll do Monday.
In the short term, it will never truly fail. And that kind of trust, that kind of relevance, it doesn't fade easily. So whatever expectations you have for the next gacha game you're looking forward to, turn them up a little, because yeah, we know the reality. Gacha games rarely launch perfectly. There'll be bugs, there'll be balance issues. You might not enjoy it at first, you might even hate it. But we've also seen what's possible. Wuthering Waves has shown us that the potential in these games isn't just an empty promise. That with the right mindset, with the right devs, and with a community that gives honest feedback,
I hope
that
Silver
potential can be
Palace
transformed
ends up
into
being
something
really fucking
magnificent.
good.
So yes,
I
expect
really
greatness, expect growth. Expect these games to grow from mediocre to mind-blowingly good, because now we know it can happen. But what do you think? Do you agree with this outlook? Or do you see something else going on in gacha space? Drop your thoughts in the comments. I genuinely want to know where you stand on this. And as always, I'll catch you in the next one.
That was a nice video.
Once again, I have filled my...
That was a nice
Wuthering
video.
Waves is genuinely changing the gacha space.
I feel, I echo a lot of these thoughts too. I do. I echo a lot of these thoughts. Wu is definitely in a great spot at the moment. But again, I feel like it's important to mention the mighty doth fall. Okay, the mighty doth fall, and it's only a matter of time before like Wu maybe slips up and doesn't perform to the expectations of people, and those people are going to be very angry and shout very loud. Okay, just bear that in mind. Those people are going to shout very loud, and it's going to be something. And then we just when that does happen, we kind of have to remember to ourselves, you know what, it's okay. Sometimes we fuck up, but we know from experience the devs will listen and pick the game back up. So that's what I would believe. But I feel like it might happen at some point that Wu misses the bar. But hey, maybe that was the anniversary. Yeah, you know what? Maybe they already had that. Yeah, maybe they already had that fuck up. Yeah, I forgot about that. Yeah, no, fuck it. Yeah, the 2.3 was that fuck up. 2.3 was that fuck up, and then they immediately come out with 2.4, like Septimon, which is fucking insane, and then this flow request, which is fucking phenomenal. So yeah, hey, they've already shown people don't give a shit. The anniversary was trash. Yeah, I'm glad people think that, because it fucking was. It was terrible. It was fucking terrible. All right, I appreciate y'all. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe on this video. I'm live every single day on Twitch and on Kick. I appreciate y'all. I'll see you on the next one. Peace.
Twitch.tv/Captain Cabinetz, Captain Cabinetz.